Definitely, I'm ready.
We're ready. We are ahead of time because we're so excited to speak with you. Yeah, this is just about being more than ready. And I'm so excited today to have the honor to have founder and CEO of the togethermovement.world, Niv Amir. Thank you so much for joining us today. You're an incredible inspiration.
It's such a
And
pleasure. Thank you for having me, and I'm really excited as well.
yeah, we're really excited. And we were just sort of chatting as we were connecting just now. And I loved what you said, that you're no longer looking to be perfect. Perfection is not the answer. Yeah, we just have to move and get
Exactly.
going. So, Niv, um, you're already, for I think the last year and a half, you've already started this very fast global community, creating our new earth, which is something that I've been going on and on and on about. And it's so exciting to have somebody alive who's doing it, who's living it, who's creating it. So would you like to somehow tell us a little of your story, how this came about, and where you are along this journey, and how we might join in?
Yes, amazing. I would love to take the people through my journey because it's got so much of an impact of what's happening growing up in Israel, growing up into these war situations, and learning about separations and being a kid from maybe 5, 6 year old. I already see that something is very strange. Well, I'm full of love. I'm going about. I just want to hug everyone, and and then there is this is Israelis, this is Arabs, this is religious, this is kibbutz people. This is and so many differences. And I just grew up in a kibbutz in beautiful family and very welcoming. And my mom, she's been a great witch, I call it, since since I born. So I learn a lot. But also then at 18 years old, I go to the army. Um, and in the army, I've been for 2 years, and we practice, and I was a parachuter. And after 2 years, we had a lot of bombing in Israel. Buses exploded at the time, and lots of lot of bad stuff happening in our country. And one night it was the Leila Seder, it's the Passover, a very big holiday here in Israel. And I'm sitting with my family and we're eating dinner, and then they, as you do in Israel, opening the news on the holiday. And it's a big a terror attack in an hotel where lots of people eating dinner together. And I look at my parents and I say, now they're gonna call us. They're gonna call me to the army. I can feel it. And after an hour, I'm getting a call, and we go, and then we go into a very big operation inside Nebulas, which is just outside of Israel in the Palestinian area. And I remember our commando that just left the unit 2 months earlier. He heard about it and he joined us. And we got in, and it's a very small refugee camp, and we're going between the houses, and because of a lot of the doors are got bombs on them, we just blowing holes in the walls, And after about 3 weeks of fighting there and lots of shooting and things like that, like in the movies, I never actually been. I trained before, but that was scary. But they teach us in Israel, the soldiers are not scared, and I remember I was scared, I have to admit. And then this day that I will never forget, I'm standing just 1 meter behind my window, watching out the window, and I hear shooting. And my commando is falling to the ground, and straight away all the paramedics and the people coming, and I'm just seeing them on the floor like that, and we took them out very quickly. And I remember running out of the refugee camp and taking them out. And when we got back in, we got the very unfortunate message that he didn't survive, you know. And I remember myself, a 20-year-old, very confused, you know. And first time I see someone in front of my eyes, someone I admire so much, I was laughing with them an hour before, you know. And I had a lot of confusion, and I would say a lot of suddenly feeling of hate, you know, or the Arabs and this situation, and a lot of things went through my mind, and we have to keep going. Like we couldn't stop, and so we keep going through the houses. And about 10 o'clock at night, I had something. We got into an house that I would never forget in my life. What's happened inside this house? It's about 5 hours later after this event. And so we blow a hole in the wall, 10 o'clock at night. It's the last house. And I'm getting in first with my rifle, and I put it like that to the dead of the family just to make sure they are not armed, you know. And I hear crying, you know, and I see the mom of the family coming, and she giving a hand for her 5-year-old kid, and she holding on her hands a 2-year-old baby. And they all crying, of course. And now I'm just thinking about being a father for kids in that age, and I'm getting shivers about this situation. And they getting close to me, and this baby had these huge eyes. And in one moment, I had the first experience that now I know to put it in words, but it was the first time I experienced out of body experience. I look right, suddenly I disconnect. And I start seeing glimpses, very fast glimpses. I see from outside this situation of myself, a kibbutz boy full of love, standing with a rifle like that. And I see Israel, and I see the world, and I see all this divide and conquering like glimpses, you know, very fast, very clear glimpses. And I come back into my body, and I think it was maybe 1 second, but it felt like at least 3 minutes. And I took the rifle down. I understand it's just a normal family and they don't trying to do anything. And then the dad of the family is looking at me, and he's like, with a broken Hebrew, he said, "Why did you blow the wall? You would have knocked on the door. I would have opened it for you." And he start laughing. He's laughing from the bottom of his heart, you know, from the bottom of his stomach. And I'm standing there, 20-year-old, in the craziest situation ever. And I'm embarrassed, and I'm start laughing. And we are standing there, 2 men's enemies, you know, in the middle of a crazy war, and we're laughing from the bottom of our hearts, you know. And all my friends coming from the rooms and looking at us, and they don't understand what's happening. And this was huge for me, because with all these thoughts and feeling and emotions I had after 5 hours earlier, when everything happened, suddenly I come back, you know, to the ground, and I see it as a message, you know. I see it as a message that I can't always control what will happen to me in my life, but I can always choose what I'm gonna do with it. And then that night, I remember I didn't went to sleep, and I swear this like most innocent, pure swear to the creator, to the universe, anyone will call it as he want, that one day I will create different type of army. That one day I will create an army, I call it an army of love, that connect between people. And with that, I left, you know, I finished the army. I went to Australia straight after that, where I spent my last 15 years before coming back 2 years ago to Israel. And I tried to think, okay, how do I make it happen? I know what I need to do. How do I make it happen? And I went into lots of startup businesses, and I say, I will make lots of money, and then I have lots of money, and I will create what I want to create. And really 2 years ago, I had a huge calling to come to Israel and create this 3 days transformation event. It was just before COVID started. And I told my wife, and with this event, I did the biggest jump of my life. I jumped from the biggest jump from my head to my heart, because I didn't know how to do an event like that. And I didn't have lots of money to do it, but something was so strong inside and said, you go and do it. And yeah, then the event got canceled 2 weeks before because of the COVID. And then we did what's happened, the Together movement. I moved it online. I told all the big mentors and artists that was meant to come. And I say, look, everyone's scared. The TV is going on about this COVID all the time. Let's just do a free event online. And that was exploding. It was like in 3 days, 12,500 people came. And and I realized this is my sign. And then so I share with a lot of people, lots of leaders, my dream. And I say, this is our time. That's what we're going to do. We're going to create this. We say we don't need to call it an army of love anymore because you don't need the word army anymore. And we decide to call it Together because that's what it is. And I would just say now to finish, to wrap up this story, that in the last year and a half, we are more than 170 people working for free, completely, very high level people from Israel and around the world, creating new systems in all areas, communication, a TV channel, we build a social network, economy, we create a partnership with a big, with amazing guys from Australia that created this a TPR coin that's gonna, release people and give them back their freedom. We're creating health centers that combined mind, body, and soul, and new education systems, hydroponic farms that will give the most healthiest food in the cheapest price to people directly. We pretty much say there is over 1 million organizations want to do good in the world. And it's not happening because we just don't know how to work together. And this is our calling right now. And it was amazing to see. And obviously our main goal is to create a collective consciousness shift. But we say, how can you even create if maybe 10% know to say the word consciousness and maybe 3 or 4% actually living it? And so we say, first we have to build the systems. Let's instead of just keep screaming on our government, oh, you do this and you do that. This is the time of responsibility, self-responsibility, and taking it and just create new systems and shift this reality. And so sometimes I'm still sitting here and pinching myself on what's happening here in the last 2 years, and so many big communities, leaders, entrepreneurs, investors, everyone coming and say, what do you need? What do we need to do? Let's do it, We don't mind about money now and time. We want to create a better future for us and our children. And obviously COVID and everything we're seeing around is a big catalyst, or if that's how you say it, to make it happen. And so happy.
Wow. Wow. Yes, your story is very moving, very touching, and obviously you had a life-defining moment.
Absolutely.
That just changed your entire perspective, and the decision now to create a world that is based on love and not division and not on war. So exactly. I admire your courage. I admire your initiative, that you're actually doing it. We're being asked here, are there Palestinians in your initiative? Heidi is asking.
Yeah, we actually got, maybe some people will be surprised, but there is many groups and communities here that are doing a lot of things together, Palestinians and Israelis. When the COVID, I would call it, when the pandemic came and lots of people see, wait, something is not all right, people are waking up to many other things now. And, we are Israelis, we travel all around the world. Everyone knows Israelis around the world because we are also loud, always crazy loud. We say 5 Israelis, it's like, 1,000 Australians or Americans. You hear us. And we met, I live in Australia. I have some of my best friends from Iran, Iraq, Lebanon, which when you grow up in Israel, you learn this is your enemies. We're dancing together in parties, we're eating in each other restaurants, and everyone say the same thing, this is not us, it's like this government thing that keep us in that control. Everyone want to live their life. And so I'm very happy. For me, because of my experience, this is one of my biggest parts that I want to do, to bring the Israeli and the Palestinians together. It's a bit harder to the Palestinians at the moment because for us it's a bit more liberal. Over there, you need to be a bit quiet about doing these events together. But it's happening. It's happening, and yeah, we are pretty much a platform, and so every innovation and every entrepreneurs that creating things, or they got communities that connecting between Israelis and Arab, and we got communities now of the religious in Israel that it's excite me a lot as well. The Kabbalah people that join, and so it's not anymore just the spiritual world as we started. We got people from all over. And that's what excites me, because now everyone understanding that we kind of live in an illusion. Let's say that, you know, there is a big illusion created around us, and we can change it, yeah, if we come together. And we got Facebook and we got everything, and so we got to know everyone around the world. And there is some good things as well in this, all this social networking and everything that happening. And for me, to see how everything is connected and how people are coming now in this time together, because we see what's happening on one side, a lot of I wouldn't call it darkness, but yeah, but there is lots of things happening on that side, and our world is always working on this. The light, what I'm trying to say is the light is coming big time as well, and it's shining, and people is ready to go. And we created in a year and a half. I've been in startup all my life. I never see something moving so fast. We got over 14 departments. We're working on over 52 projects at the moment. Really new insurances, health insurances that are so cheap, and they are giving you the option to work on a mind and body, not just, you know, chemicals and medicines. And we see amazing things happening. People have great innovations that they already built, but it was very hard for them to get it out. Maybe the time wasn't right, but also because they've been doing it by themselves. And for me, it's to see how fast this movement is growing. It just, yeah, it's amazing. I feel very fortunate.
Yeah. Wow. This is so exciting, Niv, because you're living it, you're doing it, you're not waiting until the time is exactly right, you're just moving. Would you like to, you know, you mentioned business, the economy, there's so many different areas. Is there a particular area you'd like to talk about? Maybe health, healing, or whatever comes up, just if you want
Absolutely.
to. I think people are getting inspired here. And
Absolutely.
you know, they can find you online, of course, on your website, and you've got a newsletter, and you know, especially entrepreneurs, healers, in your, it doesn't matter what field you're in, this is something that's moving. You're getting on a moving train. It's not all looking at each other saying, well, where are we going to? Well, we don't quite know where we're going. We don't have it defined, but we're moving. Yes, and we've got
We're
the
moving with our headlights
Yeah.
on, you know. I'm saying it's like the car headlights, and we can see 200 meters, and we trust that the next 200 meters, because nobody built something like that. We don't have any guidance of how you're building something like that, and because this is the calling right now, release. You know, I've been building businesses, but I build them from here, so I have to control how it will all happen, you know. And it's a big release for all of us, you know, business people that coming here together to allow ourselves be in the unknown, you know, and like really trust. And we can see that the all this universe, the creator, they love what we're doing, you know, because everything is just moving. As long as we happy to release the control, as long as we agree to work together, even though we got sometimes different views and thinking differently. And I always say, to build all these businesses that I'm going to speak about now, that's the easy part, because we got the best people in economy, and the best people in TV, and the best people in agriculture. That's easy. To get a movement, the main thing is to manage to connect and bring the people together, and allow ourselves to live our egos, even though they're good, but a little bit aside and be open to work together. And I think that's what make it happening so fast. And so when talking about the businesses and some examples of what we are creating, I would just say in the beginning, we thought, okay, how we do it? So we say, maybe we just open a non-for-profit, and maybe we start to think about the structure, but then we say, no, we are creating a new world, and we don't want to use a old structure. We want to create abundance. And we say, all right, so how we do it? So we open a company, and our shareholders sign an agreement that the shares are not equal money and they're not transferable. And so pretty much we say, let's build the biggest corporation in the world, but the money is not going to the shareholders. Because I don't know if people know, but the definition of company at the moment, it's maximize the share value for the shareholders. And that's what we're seeing in our world. People don't mind anymore that people will die just to make money. It's got this machine can't be stopped because we can't stop. And we say, what's happened if we got a company that's making a lot of money, but all this money is coming back to building those projects to make people's life easier. And we do it in a very transparent way. We build our own transparency system where people can vote and they can say where the money goes, and they part of all the decisions and everything. And and then we say, all right, so if we just shift this little thing of maximize the profit for the shareholders, then we can create an amazing thing. And then we start build businesses and join partnerships with companies. And the first thing and the most exciting thing is, of course, the economy. And so we join with these amazing guys that got the same view exactly, and dedicating their life to create shift. And the People Reserve, its name as it is, it's the bank of the people. It's the reserve for the people. This coin is built to release us. It's not a coin of like Bitcoins or anything that it's all the time going up and it's risk, and it's for people that know how to invest. And this coin is for actually replace our money and give us interest, so people can live their life quietly. It's actually working on something that happened in the 1600, where the Dutch government released those bonds of 10 to 12%. And this coin is also giving 12%. And they find out, and the economy and the society, that it was the most amazing test in history, because they was thriving. They was thriving because it wasn't too much, so people don't want to work, but it's enough for people to stop and ask, what do I want to do? Why did I came here? Now we are in a race. We're always in a race. We always have to achieve something. We even forgot to raise our children sometimes from in this life. And so this coin is coming and built for the people, and with all the money that coming, when people purchasing and they getting the coin, and we got huge amounts of suppliers in Israel, in Australia, and soon everywhere, where people can go and actually exchange this money, and it's giving them an interest of 12% per year, compounding interest, and it's fully building a new economy, and all the cash money is going to build all those projects that I will tell about now, but all these amazing innovations of people. And so this is really exciting. We're working about for 1 year already. It's operating now almost 2 years in Australia. And in 2 weeks, it's starting here in Israel after 1 year of hard work. and it's going to go everywhere. And this project is really exciting us because it's giving us the control, So what the blockchain did is giving us the opportunity to really not ask permission from a third party, but own this economy. And what they what the word for it, the most important word is the consensus. What you need is consensus, because the dollar is equal a dollar now, because we all agree that the dollar is dollar. And if we all agree that TPR is our coin, then TPR is our coin, and then we are getting percentages as the bank should give us, and we can build project with it. As long as we're creating abundance to people, we don't want everyone to be volunteers. We want to create abundance in this organization. We believe people should live in abundance. There is enough abundance in this universe. And so some of the projects we start building with it, it's the hydroponic farms, which we got one of the world leaders here in Israel. He designed his own 700 different kind of fruit and vegetables, and consult before to the UN and everyone, until he understands that he doesn't really want to use this technology that he got that can feed everyone very cheaply. I know it sounds strange, but that's how it is. And so now we are building this chain in Israel of hydroponic farms that will give, it's even healthier now than organic, because the soil is so destroyed already, it's so sprayed, and it's very hard to grow organic. And so this is the hydroponic and aquaponic, with a system with fishes that clean the water and give everything. There is not one chemicals in this fruit and vegetables, and they know exactly how much they're growing. So per family and the people that want, so there is no all this waste that going around the world, and people get it fresh every week to their homes, and it's cheaper than go to the supermarket. And I go there and I buy the cucumber, and I come back to maybe 5-year-old, when it's crunchy, where it's tastes like great, no water inside, and no after it's been sitting on a fridge and delivered from place to place. And I think that's one of our main things. So we creating a chain around Israel, and the target of this company is that we'll have it everywhere, and so people can come and they can pick up whatever they want. That will happen in few years. So this is amazing. And then we got this health insurance, as I say. So this very smart guy that was advising the government about insurances and realized where is he now, what is he doing for the future of his children. And then he decided to create this health insurance, and he went to one of the 5 companies in the world that actually insure the insurance companies.
Yes.
And he showed them that if he can save them millions and millions of dollars if he combine body and spirit and soul, and not just giving medications and putting people, because who is paying for that? It's those 5 insurance companies that then get sued by the insurance company for all these expenses. And so it's cost like a third of the price of what's insurance cost, and he's got already 150 places, so doctors that working with them, some of them conventional, and lots of them are naturopaths and Chinese medicine, and such a huge variety. And so we designed this beautiful app, and you're just going and you see straight away a doctor, and then he decide if to send you to a healing session, or if to send you off, your hand is broken and you really need to see now a doctor. And so together with the food, we start to build this ecosystem to make people healthy. We're working here with a organization called Medical Care. It's the first organization in Israel that actually got from the insurance, 2 biggest insurance companies in Israel, allowance to work with cancer and how it's called, fibromyalgia. And after 9,000 patients that goes through there, on the guy that created it had money, and so to prove that it's working, he spent 9 years and 9,000 patients to show them that it's working, and after 9 years of fighting, they accepted it. And so now there is crazy story. People coming with a stage 4 cancer, and after 1 week doing only alternative stuff and eating good, they coming and walking, and they start like, to heal completely. And so we're working with them to create as well a chain of those hospitals where people can come and really learn what's happened to them and really learn what's caused the cancer, to come and really heal from the inside. They working with the main things they doing is the journey of Brandon Bass. You probably know Brandon.
Yes. Brandon Bass,
which I had the pleasure to meet and work with as well, and she's amazing. And Dr. Nader Bhutto is very big here in Israel. He's do the energetic wash. And so those the main 2 things that they do there, but it's a full week of learning to find God inside. And there is people that getting in, in the most victim mentality and coming up where they dancing and knowing that they can heal everything. And so this is another big thing we're investing in projects like that. We got our own social media that coming up in 2 weeks as well, coming out because it's time to create a different type of talk, I will call it, of discussions and energy. And so it's called the Together Movement Network, and that will be available in English as soon as I told you before. At the moment, we do it all here in Israel, because anyway, it's like way too big to work on everything. But we invite people, as you say, entrepreneurs and people that are doing amazing things. We're working with great partners from Europe and United States and already in Australia. And we definitely invite people that got innovation to write to us and join this movement, because together we can create beautiful things. And we are setting up our own TV channel with some of the top people that work here in, how it's called, the mainstream. And it's really interesting to see that a lot of people that work in the highest positions, of in the metrics, let's call it, they are now coming and saying, all right, let's create the antivirus. Let's bring the things for the people. There is no need anymore for someone to have $5 million in his bank account and people that don't have anything to eat. There is no need for it. We can have enough abundance and we can share resources. We're working with a lot of people that do share resources and building beautiful things. And there is so many innovations right now. Those are the main things we're working, but there is so many projects. We are creating communities as well, a network of communities around the world that creating either for living communities or for, for people to come and experience workshops and learn how to grow and how to regenerate the land and a lot of things. We're working with a lot of groups and communities around the world. And there is, I can keep speaking on projects for so long because we got so many, but I invite as well people to go to our website. It's very general at the moment what's written on our website, but when we invite people very soon to the social network, they will get weekly updates. They will be able to vote. They will be able to bring new projects and connect. And for us, it's it's magic. More and more people that connecting. Now we got the structures, we build the foundations, and we can receive a lot of new projects and just bring it to the front. This is all our mission, to help all those amazing people that created beautiful things to bring it to the front, because right now it's not getting enough airtime, And so as you say as well, we're working with a lot of people that are healers, artists, musicians, a lot of people that I say we came to this world, we know it, the people that know it, we came to this world for this time. And now it's our time to shine and allow ourselves to really go into it. And that's something we do already really well here in Israel. We help thousands of people during this COVID time, it's not an easy time for many people, because someone came and just pulled this carpet under the legs. A lot of people that did a lot of work already tell us that they are excited. I'm very excited from this time. I waited for it. I feel like I've been prepared for it, but I see a lot of people that going through crazy times. And we've been there, and we're doing lots of workshops. We're doing a lot of online stuff. We're creating this website that will bring all those people into one place, and people can come and choose courses and meditations and yogas and many things into one place. In the education section, we're also working a lot to create new alternative way, because it's all start with our children's, really. And if there is one thing that didn't change for 200 years already, everything changed, but the education system seems to stay the same, where we're taking 35 kids, 35 souls that are so different from each other, and we tell them you have to be in a straight line. And if not, you take all kind of weird pills to help you sit down and everything. That has to change, And so we're working with amazing people that already bring it even into the Ministry of Education. Some and manage to penetrate and get it subsidized, but we help as well to build a lot of nature alternative education where they see the kids, where they light this spark in them, rather than just try to make a straight line and tell in the end of the year, all right, yeah, we made another year, And so this is a very dear subject as well for us. And yeah, so much goodness,
Yes, so much goodness that came out of such a terrible, heartbreaking situation, and you've turned it into something tremendous and amazing. So I'd like to encourage anybody right now, whatever you're going through and whatever things you may be facing right now, just know that we can together turn this around. And Niv, in his area, he's putting all this energy into our field. Yeah, this is our common field, if you like. We're all on this playing field. And the more goodies that we've got in this playing field, the more we've got to share. So it's almost like it begins to get easier, I think, in some ways, as it gets momentum.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, we don't really need to know how it will happen. I will be honest, a lot of people now bringing everything that's happening in the shadow and the people that controlling this world. And I'm there. I studied 13 years ago how this world is working. It's not a coincidence that 1% of the population holding 96% of the money, and everyone enslaved. But then when I learn it and understand, and I say, I'm not going to give them any more of my consciousness time, because that's exactly what they want. If we keep floating these stories all the time, and we can keep saying, oh my God, that's what they're planning for us now, and that's what they do, And I see what's happening in Together movement, because we all falling into these places, because there is some things that happening around at the moment, It's this dance of the darkness and the lights, the moon and the sun. They are dancing, and this is part of this dualic universe we chose to come, even though sometimes we say, what the hell? but we choose to come here to dance in this realm right now. And when I see the people that are taking part in the Together movement, how the eyes are open suddenly, and rather to be busy in like, oh my God, what's going to happen to us? We are being busy in like, we are building this new future. We are already, the soil is ready. We are digging. We're not waiting for permission, and we not keep feeding, this wolf. We're choosing, and that's bring me to this room with the little girl. That's where I learned that I can choose. I always have a choice. I've been in the craziest time. I see in 5 hours both sides, and I got an angel, like the dead of this family, sent, to show me that, like, I can put now the walls of fears and say, oh, all the Arabs, and they want to kill us. But then I got to see it, and feel it and laugh through it. And then I realized we are creating it. We are creating, and then that's why we have to stay focused and see where our focus is. It's all right, I'm also falling sometimes. I'm getting into, reading all of those things and everything of what's going on, and I love to stay updated. But I say, all right, that's what's happening, but that's what we are building, and we don't need to know how this change will happen, because it's a consciousness shift, and like the butterfly becoming a butterfly, out of this worm. And you don't need to know, but there is a gene inside where this like dying carcass is dying. There is a gene that created from those imaginal cells. It's really interesting actually to hear Deepak Chopra explaining about the butterfly. If you write in YouTube, Deepak Chopra, it's like 7 minutes. Really interesting, because that's what's happening. There is an imaginal cells that eating from this nutrition soup, we call it, like this dying carcass, and this imaginal cells getting to a critic mass, and they are connected, and they creating a gene, and this gene is have all the information for wings and antennas and everything, and out of this like dying thing becoming a butterfly, and we are the imaginal cells as well, the people that are watching here, and he say that this gene as well is planted in our heart of each human, and I love this story so much, because that's what we are creating at the moment, out of this like eating this nutrition soup, which is say that in nutrition soup it's like all the wars, all the injustice, all the bad things that we are seeing. We have to eat that to know what we want, in this realm. And so for me, I'm not ignoring it. I'm watching it, but I'm feeling like it's giving me more fuel. That's what I want to do. All right, that's what we're doing. Bring it on, because I believe in us. I believe in humanity, and this is our journey now to bring as many people back to their art, because we kind of like in all this reality being created for us, we kind of forgot who we really are. We got so many distractions, and I feel how now people coming back to the grandma medications and spending time, more with the kids and learning, and because this COVID as well did a big stop and shift on our life, and so we can always choose what to see. That's what I'm saying, and that's why I invite more and more people to join, and really take all this fear that is existing in the field at the moment, and really create a transformation for this fear, like get this fear and make it into a power that a light that nobody can stop.
Yes, it's unstoppable. And you are unstoppable. That's what it feels like, Nev, yeah? And I love that you're real. I think you mentioned that when things come up, which they do, things are not always perfect between people. We have our differences. But I think you mentioned when we spoke that you sometimes use non-violent communication techniques, NVC, or different ways and tools that we've got to be able to come together and find a way. We won't be beaten. Yeah. So
absolutely. It's all in here for us, and we did all this work during the years, and now it's our time to really build this heaven that it's possible. It's possible for all of us, and it's here for us. It's like we see it. The things are happening, and projects are coming and getting out, and we got huge following, and people are with us, and volunteers. We got so many volunteers that doing here and there, and whatever needed. We just taking a message out, and people are what we need to do. Let's do it. And so it's all here waiting for us, and to create this world that we. I when I was a child and I see these things, I was closing my eyes and I was imagining, because I believe I've got an 8-month daughter, and I see, and when you have a baby, you remind how we all born. We all born just like this pure light. She's looking at you in the eyes, and you you see the whole universe, you know. And then we start learning and getting conditioning and things like that. But now really is the time of the shift that I waited for it for many years, because it's not that the reality in the last 20 or 50 or 100 years was so good. It just was everything under the surface, you know. Many people was getting sick. We become very sick society, very afraid from each other, wars everywhere, and now it's all coming to the surface. And so I find out as well that together it's the best way to go through it, you know. Even we all going through things now, we all going through shifts, and where you are together and you are connected with this family, then nothing can stop you, you know. It's a ray of light that reflected from everywhere, like to the center of the universe and shifting things.
Yeah. Wow. You're a real inspiration, really, Niv. And, you know, I'm going to suggest to anybody who's listening or listens later, you know, think of the area that interests you the most and see where you can get involved. Yes, I mean, this is something
Absolutely.
that's actually happening. It's no longer talk. This is action. And we're adjusting and creating as we go along with a society that is based upon love and mutual respect and
Exactly.
kindness and all the better qualities that we want to establish in our world.
Exactly.
You know, and
Exactly. And
it's going to
mutual guarantee, you know, to be there for each other and create partnerships. That's what we're doing. And we're doing. We have lots of people that thought that they are competitors, but when they join here, and that's what we do, you know. So even when you now invite people to join, even the little things you think about, you know, someone that doing beautiful things, send them through, you know. That's how the magic happen, you know, in the Together movement. It's look maybe big and everything, but it's all those little things, you know. You Bracha just saw us and send an email, and I took me a while to see it, but then I got into it and we connected like that, and now more people, the chain, more people listening to us now, and this network is connecting more and more. And so it's all those little things. Sometimes people think, oh, what I've got to offer, but it's like everything, every little thing that you got, any connection that you got, we got people that volunteering for 1 hour to help us with all kind of excels and things like that, that it might look minor, but it's so good, you know. Anyone coming and say what he good at and what he want to do, and that's the most important for us. We find for people what they want to do. So some people say, look, I'm really good, I work on excels and I've been an accountant and but what I really love to do now is to help people, and I'm doing healing. And I say, that's what you do, you know. And if you want to do 1 or 2 hours on excels and stuff because this is something you're good at, that's great, but that's what you do, you know. Because this is the time, if we find what switch the light inside, then we are unstoppable. And there is no any amount of darkness whatsoever. Nobody will, doesn't matter what anyone tell me, that can stop it, you know. There is nothing. And that's why they use this divide and conquer for so many years. They invested millions of dollars creating wars, selling weapons, doing all those crazy things, because they also know that when humanity come together, when we are come together, the shift will happen so fast. And so I know my journey being in the coaching arena and everything, and everyone was saying all the time, we are all one, and you know, the universe is one. But now it's the action time. Now it's the time to get out of the comfort zone, and it's the time to actually make it happen. And I see how fast it moves when you do the right thing, when you in your genius zone.
Yeah, it's like when you do the right thing, you put the plant and you give it sunshine and you give it water and you talk to it and you give it love, it grows and it blossoms.
Absolutely.
So when you do the right thing, as you say, Niv, then organically you're living within the certain laws of the frequencies.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. And that's why magic is created, and that's why we don't need to explain it. Everyone knows it when you go out of your house and you are in a good mood day, everything is shining. And so when we're coming together and we're bringing these energies together, then yeah, the shift is happening, and is happening faster than even I can follow, you know. Sometimes I'm like, oh, stop for a second, you know. But then again, I remember, release. You don't need to control anything. You don't need to manage anything. There is such a beautiful people, and everyone in the art are in the same direction. And so we got those circles walking by themselves and creating by themselves. We do have a leadership team, but we're more holding the frequency, other than like, this is all right, this is not, you know. It's like we're just holding the frequency and giving advices and things like that. But any circle and any department on the Together movement is working completely freely and completely transparent as well with the people. And I think we call it a radical transparency. And radical, it sometimes sounds very radical, but I think the world at the moment is in a place where people are radically don't trust anything anymore. And so we have to be in radical transparency to really show people and make them feel safe. Like, you can decide here, you can even get into our bank account. Soon we're sorting it where people can get into our bank account and see exactly where the money is go, because we got nothing to hide, you know. There is not anymore, this whole world was walking on and shaking hand, and now it's just people realize we just need what we need to live quietly and peacefully. And the best thing you can get, more than any amount of money, is working together with people and helping and changing someone's life. Like, this feeling, it's much more than anything, and usually bring as well all you need on the material world, really. So we kind of been educated differently.
Wow. Wow, I'm getting shivers and buzzes, and really, Niv, you're just stepping out and, you know, shining a light for other people to join along the path. And
Yes.
it's about everyone, every single person, every one of you listening. You've got something special that nobody else can give. No one else can do it. So, you know, just don't be shy. Don't be reticent. It's moving quickly now. We've been complaining for a long time, oh, things are not moving, nothing's happening, it's so slow.
I always laugh.
You know,
The biggest lesson of oh, sorry.
You know?
Yeah.
So
I say
here, sorry, go ahead. No, please.
The biggest lesson of spirituality is patient. Because we just want to, we're creating it now, yeah, you know, but it's like planting those seeds and like just enjoying the journey, you know, because this is the most important thing. Otherwise, waiting to the things and they show straight away, then we not evaluate anything. We get there is no value for nothing, and so but now everything is expanding so fast, you know. Like, I see it on my manifestations and everything. It's like everything becoming so fast as we're going up the scales, getting into the fifth dimension, which I really see it. For me, the names, it doesn't really matter, but it's like we are there. We are getting into a new era, and everyone can feel it. And this getting into this new era as well can be very shaky, and that's why we need to be there for each other. And that's why we build a social network, you know, so people can, like, it could be like a home for people to get advice and to meet other people on the same journey, and they consume a lot of great content, and we are creating, as I think I told you, this in September we are creating a very big global event, online event called Envision the Future. And we're going to bring lots of leaders from around the world, that talk about their innovations, and also, of course, talking about self-development and many, many arenas. And Envision the Future is idea is exactly that. So we are thousands of people from around the world can start seeing all this image like the Together movement doing here in Israel. We are making thousands of people see that things are actually here and believe them, and that's where the consciousness shift will happen, you know. And so that's why we call it Envision the Future, because we say, all right, now it's what you consume. As we say before, you consume that or you consume that, and we need to bring it out, like you do on your channel and many other people doing, like bringing the light, letting people breathe for a second, and so we are planning a very big event as well in September.
Wow, wonderful. Well, I'll certainly let people know about that once you have all the details. I'll be posting that. And Radhika's been wonderful. Thank you, Radhika. She's posting all your details in the chat as we're going. Somebody asked, I think it was 50 Shades of something. I'm sorry, the chat goes very quickly, saying that they want to help, but they don't know how at the moment. That's all right. Just go on the website and see if there's anything that appeals to you. Yeah, just see what lights you up. You know, maybe it's animals, maybe it's the land, maybe it's food, maybe it's the economy. Just see which area of life lights you up, and that could be your first step. It doesn't have to be perfect. I think we're all trying to get it just right. And I think that's what I've learned through live streams and YouTube, like this window. Excuse me, there's a wind coming from the ceiling. I've got to close my window. There we go. And you just have to, you know, improvise, because that's what life is like, you know. And so don't be perfect. Yeah, just go and see what it's like. Yeah,
exactly. And you're more than welcome to put your name, of course, on the newsletter, and then when the social network is available for English speaking, which won't be long, then you can join and really like get live and join the decisions and join groups, and we open new countries and new communities all around the world, and like really connect this network, you know, like the mushrooms, the myceliums under the ground, you know, that transfer all this information. That's how we are, and that's the target. So even if you put your email there and you get the updates from us, and then you find maybe in 2-3 months something that interesting you, or feel free to write to us about anything. Our people will always there to answer, and and join the party, or even create it in your own area, you know. Start with your own groups and things like that. So it's this time. Everything is happening right now.
Wow.
We got an opportunity, and we don't even need, you know, to grab it or jump on it, or that. It's just here. It's here for us. We just really need to hear and listen and feel. And I think we all know it, because we know, we remember why we came here and what we came to do, you know.
We're remembering. Exactly. Wow. Niv, thank you so much. You know, we could talk for hours, and maybe come back maybe in a while, and we'll have an update from you, and maybe some more questions. People are saying your website is beautiful, so you're already getting some people going there and checking you out. So that's great. And I hope this helps to grow what you're doing, because I love what you're doing, and thank you for being, you know.
What we doing? I always correct people, you know. Yeah, it's not me, and then it's you, and it's everyone listening, and yeah, it's us, and yeah, it's our time. I'm as well. I'm very privileged to be leading something like that, but yeah, it's definitely us now, and
together.
And it's more than we be like that, then it will happen faster. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm so happy for this opportunity, and I hope people got value, and more than happy to ask questions and to send us questions and to ask how you can help or suggest things. And everything we are here, because that's what we are trying to do, to connect more and more people into this creation.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so, so much, Niv. You're an absolute delight to be with. The website is togethermovement.world.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that you feel inspired from this broadcast. Niv has been just an angel. You've been wonderful and really very uplifted. I feel very uplifted because it's somebody now who's actually doing it and not talking it. You're walking the talk. So thank you very, very much, Niv. And
Thank you
we'll be in
so
touch,
much.
and I hope you'll come back.
Absolutely, I will. I'm looking forward, and we'll be in touch. And thanks for the opportunity, and thanks for everyone for listening.
Oh, thank you, Niv. Thank you. Thank
Let's
you.
do it.